And we have music. Yay! And we have people. Yay! And we are back. And I guess I should reveal my co-host because he's totally here willingly, right? He's he's totally willingly here. He wouldn't
Help!
be. I'm checking my door. Welcome back. This is episode 20. Can you believe it? It's like wow. Seems like a long time. Because we did two with Andre, and then kind of things were quiet for a bit, and then in beta things were kind of quiet for a bit, and things kind of picked up, and then stuff happens. We paused a little bit, and then we're back. 20 episodes. Hmm.
That's pretty crazy.
That is. Lots going on. Lots on the roadmap to talk about. We got stuff. Got stuff. For I guess we do introductions. For those of you guys who don't know, I am Meg, also known as Dead Woman Walking. I've been gaming on PC since the 90s. I was thinking about the other day about my first husband had an Amiga 500, and we used to game. There was some fun little games on that one, but there was also some brutal ones. So Beast something or another that I was so hard. I don't think anybody could get more than 45 seconds into the game. It was stupidly hard. Side scroller thing. Hated it a lot. Don't miss those days. Survival gamer, been survival gaming for a bit. It's probably my favorite genre, I think. So yeah. So how about you, Kason? Can you tell us a little bit about you?
I mean, not really much to say considering I was kidnapped for this, but I mean, I voluntarily joined the podcast. Sorry, Mistress Meg. Hello, I'm Kason. I've been gaming since I was the original, Duck Hunt and Super Mario. Kind of been gaming ever since. I took breaks growing up and stuff. Kind of got back into it about the original Xbox for consoles, and the Nintendo 64, which probably dating myself pretty hard there, and playing the original Oregon Trail. Which you want to talk about a hard game? I died of dysentery so many times. No matter what you do, you die. It's just
missed. But it was a text game.
Oh,
when you had to get out of the room. I mean, like when you load it and you're like stuck in the room and you couldn't get out of the room.
Yeah, I had the strategy guide for that game and I still couldn't figure it out.
I don't think anybody. I think that was the attractiveness to it. I think people enjoyed the pain.
I mean, more power to you, but me personally, no. No.
I remember being so peeved off. It wasn't even my game. It was a friend of mine's game. It was her Commodore 64, and it was the only game she had. And I had finally made some progress, had gotten into another room and was doing stuff, and she got pissed off and yanked the cartridge out.
I might have done that with some. Well, I was the younger cousin, and you're playing 2-player, and you're like, I'm doing so much stuff. Wait a minute. It's like, yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah. It did not end well. I was a bit frustrated. But now here we are, still gaming a long time later, 35 years later, something like that.
We're not going to discuss years.
Hush. Hush. But yeah, let's see, what do we got today? So ad break is going on. Hopefully it should be over in a moment. So then when it's over, we have a much shorter PowerPoint tonight. It's only 35 slides. And then we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the new player experience and the Landsrod a bit.
Yes, and you're going to make fun of me for farming because I play Farming Simulator, and you're like, how do you play that for hours on end, but you won't go help me find this thing or that thing or do this or that. And I'm like, oh,
I think I think for some people it's numbers go up in head, and that's why some of us like it. Hush follow. Only 35. Yeah.
yeah. I tried to play uh his comment before. I tried to play Super Mario again, and I was like, oh my god, was I always this bad at it?
We lose our muscle memory a little bit. We lose our muscle memory a little bit, but
Oh, I was 4 when I was playing it too, and I tried to shoot the dog all the time in Duck Hunt. You
we
know,
just had
he'd
the
pop up.
regular, just the regular Mario, just the regular Mario. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Let me set this up. We're gonna jump over here to
Woo,
our.
we're in the dark corridor
We
again.
are.
Yay!
We are. But then we're in like a basin.
Oh, buttons.
Yes, with Godzilla. That's not Godzilla. That is the Sentinel. That's the Sentinel. That's what it is.
Oh, I know where we're at because there's the old man over on the right side of the screen.
Yes.
Howdy.
Hey,
Yeah, I swear it
dude.
looks like an old man.
Only you. But I've said this many times. I think most of us who have been in the Thopter have taken this shot because, well,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
it's a good shot. So why wouldn't you? Anywho, I haven't gotten mine yet. And other people are like, I got mine. I'm like, I haven't got mine yet. It's punishment for being in beta. That's what it is.
I still haven't gotten anything, which is
They
weird,
go out
but
in waves. To be fair, they go out in waves because if SurveyMonkey was to send out thousands of them at the same time, a lot of ISPs would say no and deny and block. They had a problem during beta um, with some ISPs blocking them as spam, so people weren't getting their stuff. So I get why it's happening. It's still I'm just like I want the thing. So
yeah.
if you get the survey, fill out the survey. You get a there's an in-game cosmetic. So
Ooh.
yeah, it looks really good. Excuse me. It is coming up. Yep, it is a free trial weekend again, like before, and well, not exactly like before. So it is a little bit different. You only get 10 hours this time, unlike last time where they had the unlimited thing. This is more like the non NDA weekend. You can be in the entirety of Haga Basin, so all the way up to the Shield Wall and whatever. But you cannot go to the Deep Desert, you can't go to Arrakis, and you can't go to Harko Village. And part of that is to kind of limit some griefing. So if you buy the game, you'll keep that progress, and the rest of the game will open up. That they're trying to get to, and your chat options are there to kind of keep people from being ridiculous because some people will be ridiculous if you let them. You just can't trust people. Mm-mm-mm. Excuse me. Okay. Roadmap. We talked about this last time. I'm gonna talk about it again because it's relevant to upcoming things. So we're already at the end of November, and in December there is a content update. And in December, I believe, is when we're going to be getting the building backup tool for Dune. So you could essentially back up, you use it like your vehicle backup tool. You're going to aim it at your building and you'll pop it into your backup tool once you make all your vehicles are in boxes because it won't grab vehicles. And then you can go to a whole nother world and restart. And ideally, your building would fit back exactly where it was. It's supposed to be a snap function. So then in December or in January-ish, somewhere in the first quarter, we're going to get our next DLC, which will be cosmetic stuff related to the Raiders of the Broken Lands. I'm curious what kind of things we're going to get because there's so many things we want that we've seen in Raider type stuff like armor stands, or it could be any kind of placeable would be fun, really fun. Chapter 3 is coming. Iggy hinted at a whole lot of things coming outside of that. We also know that the deep desert is going back the way it was at some point, probably in the first quarter,
Boo.
with the implication that there would be another map. They have this is
Mhm.
speculation, but to me, what I read in that was there would be another map. So right now, the deep desert is picture a 3 by 3, right, of
Mhm.
maps. They don't, and currently the bottom 2/3 are PVE. Um, what I my impression was, this is not gospel, this is my vibe, is that they're going to have another map that's going to be similar to that. It's going to have smaller, the small and medium spice blows. It'll have smaller resource nodes. If you want the big ones, you'll still have to risk PvP, but then things won't be progress locked as much behind PvP, and then the PvPers would have that space back again. So I think that's the plan. We shall see. I also had a revelation that I keep saying about PvP, because they talked about making more a space for ground combat, because right now there is no ground combat for PvP. It's all really in the air. And I was leaving the deep desert the other day, and I was realizing as I was hitting the shield wall that they've made all these roads and things in this space that we can't actually access. You can't drive to the deep desert. And I stand by my idea that PvP needs a map like the Rift with valleys and caves and stuff, um, for ground combat. Something deep and where it's hard to use air superiority. I think part of the problem with PvP and air now is so many people are riding their thopters to do it, and that there's while I appreciate how difficult that is to do, and I'm like, if you can shoot me from the top of a moving thopter, you get the win. I also understand a lot of people don't like that. We did have more ground combat in beta, probably because we were in fear of losing our vehicles. They were expensive, and the deep desert ate your vehicles. So I think there was a lot more. I think the meta has changed, but this is all speculation on my part. Gesundheit.
Thank you. Sorry.
So we could be seeing that in the next 6 months, some kind of changes. Hey, DeKink. And then the fourth DLC
Thank you.
for this first season pass will be coming in the spring. Someone on the official Discord the other day was really upset, insisting that the game, was not going to be supported past that because they haven't said anything about new DLC. And I was like, because this one's only halfway done. Give
I
them some time.
I mean, to be fair to Funcom, as you know, I played Fallout 76 some. It took almost 2 years to finally get NPCs. Y'all got NPCs right out of the gate. We had to wait almost 2 years to get
Yeah.
NPCs. I mean, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
Um,
I get where there's the concern about it, and I admit I have my concerns too. But at the same time, they're trying some to do things.
oh yeah.
It's not, you know. But I mean, that's also the state of the gaming industry in general.
People don't have a
And
whole lot of patience, and I think one thing, and I remember pushing back against this even in beta. People were talking about end game being the deep desert, and it's like, okay, first off, it's a live game. There isn't an end game at really, because it's always going to be adding to and always changing. The current end game definitely needs some TLC. Don't get me wrong, but we knew that. We knew that this was not going to be the final iteration. We knew that things were always going to be in flux. And Funcom, but even like Conan, and during the beta for this, took on our feedback and made a lot of changes for those of us, who were there for a long time. The game that we started with in February of last year and the game that launched were totally different games.
yeah,
So they're acting on that feedback. It just takes time. It just takes time, and I'm impatient too. But getting nasty or getting ugly or getting doesn't make them program faster.
I mean, it's kind of also just the way the gaming industry is now of just release it and they patch, and then eventually you get a game that works,
Yeah.
you know, and it it's a whole thing, really. I mean, you know, I still love 76. I love Dune. I love, you know, Fallout. I still haven't played Cyberpunk. I need to play that one, but
That's another one that had a rough launch. Real rough
oh,
launch.
that was awful. I felt so bad for them because they worked on it for years, and
That
then they're
was
like,
7 years, and that was what we got. Um, but I think too the flip side is people, this game came out in June, right? So it's not even 6 months old. People played 500 hours and they're mad that they're bored. I'm like, it's a brand new game and you played 500 hours. I think you got your money's worth, and they didn't, just you know play something else for a little bit, and that's okay. And they get really mad. And they're like, you can play other games. I want to play this one. Well, it's just,
yeah, I agree with Verrath,
it's
but
D.
like, yeah, it kind of feels like everybody wants to have a No Man's Sky where you come back and but it's like it. I mean, granted, I'm a fan of Warhammer and stuff, and like I try to play the tabletop sometimes, and you can go from your army, wipes the board with everybody to you are so nerfed that you're wasted ammo.
Yeah. And tweaks happen, and they're going to continue tweaking. And yeah, I I think people will come back for chapter three, because, again, Iggy implied, I'm not speaking for Iggy, that there was a whole lot more coming up
For
outside of
sure.
just the next story bit. So there's a whole lot of things coming. So and then he refused to say more, which I respect. He's like, people are gonna take whatever I say and twist it anyway. So I don't want to be
Yeah.
that person. But he did say stuff is coming. I've been saying stuff is coming. I believe stuff is coming. So we just have to be patient. And really, the launch was good. The game, for most people, most of the time, runs well. Most people don't have big issues most of the time, which is
Yeah,
which
mine
is
was mostly because when I first started trying to play and stuff, and I was doing the stuttering, it turned out my graphics card was bad. I got it replaced, and now I can run all the time. And then you get to hear me going shit, 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 shit when a worm's coming.
yeah. So I think, while don't get me wrong, bugs suck. Losing equipment and time and all that to bugs sucks, and we just need to bug report those. And they got to make the decision of, do I keep playing, or do I put it aside for now? And that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to play it all right
You
now.
have to flash the worm at me. I already get PTSD from that, and you just got to keep doing it to me.
Sorry, I hit a button.
Buttons.
Everybody loves the buttons. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. It's been a
Yeah,
hot,
that's not.
fixy week.
Just let's go. Like, come on, come on, come on, come on,
It's
come on.
been a hot, fixy week. Just make sure that you are doing bug reports for stuff that's broken. No, they will not email you back. Support tickets often are canned responses, but if you scroll down on many of them, you'll see a place where you can add more information and probably actually speak to a live person. So, uh, yeah, it's been a patchy week. I was going to talk about this. This came up in our Discord the other day. This is right before pre-launch, and he just looks like he's having so much fun hanging off the back. But that's the part I wanted to talk about. Where is this? When are we getting this, Funcom? When are we getting this? Because we don't
I'm
have
sorry.
it.
Yeah, that looked like you see the biker gang hanging, riding down the road. The guy's got the old skull cap helmet, and then you got his old ladies just hanging off the back, everything flopping everywhere, and he's just like, "Good luck."
But yeah, whatever armor she's got on, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but I have not seen it.
I don't know. I kind of have questions. I think it's an Anvil, the gentleman that's beside the Harkonnen House representative. That
He's a
looks like
bug.
a gimp suit mixed with Tusken Raider, and I'm just like,
If you haven't seen the gimp
hmm,
suits yet, that's the thing. There's a whole lot of, to be fair, in lore it makes sense, but
yeah,
they have a look.
yeah. It's I mean, it's like a Tusken Raider went to a BDSM dungeon, and I'm just like,
I
mm,
wouldn't know. This is my innocent base.
hmm.
um,
Oh Lord,
Thinking about the
a
game,
patch every other day.
this is a concept art by Finn McManus
Ooh,
from
pretty.
pre-alpha planning, and I forget which. I think this might be in the art book. Um, Someone back with someone mentioning Zentera.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it this time.
It
I
was
promise.
Paolo. Um, Early on, right about the time the first waves of beta started, there was Funcom did have a site that had some concept art on, which you can only find. Um, but yeah, there's this was some early concept art. I think it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But there's some green around, in the Odom. It's got some green, and even around the polar caps, you might have some green too. To be fair,
I could honestly see like that if this took place during Leto the Second's reign, I could see that being Arrakis. You know,
possibly.
starting to get that green, starting to get the because I mean by the end, by the time he dies, spoiler by the way for a really old book, by the time he dies, like Arrakis is a jungle world, and he has like this little reservation that's like a couple of thousand miles of square miles of space that he's allowed to live in, and that's it. Because if he goes outside of that, he's dead.
Yeah, yeah. This is also by Finn McManus. I think that's beautiful.
D D. I'm no, no. You're really cool, so I'm just not. I'm just going to avoid that comment. We're just not looking. No, don't put it up. Come on. I mean,
We like what we like.
yeah. He's a giant worm, though. I mean, is he
That's
technically a
what you
person
say.
anymore?
Anyway, community roundup.
That's yeah. That's a piss of words. That is very. Mm. Now my brain's
Moving
going to break
on.
for the rest of the podcast. I'm going to mute myself and just go hide in the corner and be like, "Ah, what is life?" Anyways,
Moving on. I had this conversation with this is another creator who may be a guest host next month, who had asked about the language in the game, and was really kind of pleasantly surprised to find out that it is the same language as from the books. So there's fonts out there. There's translations, so the Ibn Qutayba and Bilil Kaifa and all of those things you can find out there online. They're all, but the idea that Joel and his team are such Dune nerds, and that's the kind of stuff that they left it for the nerds, you know.
yeah, I don't think they can read the second part because we're in the way.
Hold on.
I know
The
you
second
got to
part
hide my
says,
beautiful
I
face.
meant more from out of a game context. Did they construct their own version of the language or use a pre-existing version? And my response to that in the conversation had been that it's stuff from the books because Joel is a massive Dune nerd.
Yeah, I noticed that talking to the Atreides house rep,
Hmm.
and like he's mentioning, tracing his line all the way back to Old Terra, and I'm like, hold up, how do you know about that, sir? Like
They
I
are.
admit I kind of thought it was a cash grab. Then I started playing, and I'm like,
I
sir,
I think that. Well, I mean, you're a video game company. You want to make a product that makes money, but I think
yeah,
for many of them, asks there was a labor of love for putting all of the lore in there and maintaining that and that continuity from the books to this. Even though it's an alternate timeline, there's still things. Some things aren't going to change. The history is not going to change. How the many of the characters react and respond to things wouldn't change. Gurney's still meh to everybody. Still kind of a hateful get. You know how people are and how they're represented in the books. I think the devs did a really good job in holding that, and I think it's important to for the continuity. I think it's important to us nerds. We would have noticed.
Yeah,
Nerds would have noticed.
yeah. And I mean, that was always kind of a weird thing too, is they could trace their lineage supposedly back to Greece,
Yeah,
and that was one thing that both authors, dang it, the name just went bloop. I had the author's name, and my brain just went, "Oh yeah, you don't need that information." Thump.
Frank Herbert.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
And his son, both of them have talked about that. There was a lot of the really old houses could trace themselves. The Harkonnens could trace themselves back to like Norway and Scandinavia, and that's where
yeah,
their name comes from. And the Atreides and everybody else, like all these different families, could trace themselves back to old Earth,
yeah.
which I mean is lost now. But
But that's their kind of claim to fame, and their claim in humanity is where we come from, and we still have that. Uh, in the American South, if you move places, you go to a new town, everybody asks who's your people, who's your family,
yeah,
and that's important. And they ask, if you have a common last name, are you related to so and so?
oh yes,
So that's just how we are. We are kind of tribal that way, you know.
well, you got to make sure you're not marrying your cousin.
That does happen, yeah. Um, this is from Variable Ian. This is from the official Discord. It's been chaos. I've been hanging out in there again, and it's been a little bit of a thing. Um,
Oh, motorcycle.
to to have people kind of roll in and out of talking about the game. Um,
Who's Nicole?
Today is Nicole's birthday, don't you know? Nicole is one of the community managers.
Oh,
At
well, happy birthday.
Gamescom 2 years ago, it was not her birthday, but I think it was Iggy introducing her. Was like, "Hey, everybody, be really nice to her. Today's her birthday." And of course, then everybody stands up at this convention and sings her happy birthday. It was not her birthday. And
Oh,
since then, every day is Nicole's birthday. And there was someone the other day was like, "You can't go, you can't gaslight me. I know, we said happy birthday 2 weeks ago." I'm like, "No, we didn't. Today's her birthday." Today's absolutely Nicole's birthday. But yeah, my favorite is, "You must be a paid show for Funcom." I'm like, I don't get paid. I don't get.
yeah,
I hear that one a lot.
yeah.
The official Discord has um, a point system. The more you chat, the more you go up the leaderboard. It's just initially it was just to kind of pass the time before the game launched. Um, but currently the kind of the top chatters are all purple. And so there's an assumption, because we're at the top, that we are moderators or we work for Funcom, because we talk a lot and we obviously answer a lot of questions. And people, if we say a thing is a way or not a way, it's probably because we've been around long enough to know. And Iggy comes in and talks. We talk a lot, and so anytime we answer a question or try to correct something, um, we get accused of being Funcom shills, because we're like, that's not how that is, or this is what they've said. Um, Tagging too many staff. There's a rule for tag discipline. To be fair, the only lower thing that was a bit weird is the sandbike. The vehicle backup tool obviously is not lower thing. There's a few concessions for gaming,
Yeah, you
and
have to, but I mean, when you talk to characters and like they can tell you stories that you've heard in other sources, it's like, huh,
yeah, and
like
as you
that
talk to more
one.
NPC and listen to more radios, and they start kind of twining together, you're like,
Yeah, like that one DLC you did with the ending. That I'm like, oh, oh, Dude, I know
So
you know the lore, but you didn't have to be that mean. Damn.
yeah. I also love it when people run things through Google AI. I'm
Oh
sure.
Lord.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tried to block that stuff on mine, like
Yeah.
when it wants me to use that, and I'm like, no, I don't want to use it. I want to go the old-fashioned way. You know what? You're lucky I'm not in the library pulling out the card to look for that. Thank you very
Same
much.
same here. And it's just Gurney. Um,
I'm
Gurney's a
sorry.
bot,
I I've had a lot of
and
caffeine today.
if you post too many GIF links too fast, he'll start deleting them. We had a
Ooh.
problem for a while. We Gurney, the bot broke. But people were back to back spamming gifts, and what would happen is like one person would do it, and another person, blah, 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 and then it's just it was all these flashy things, and it was awful, and it just turned into giant gift spam. So now Gurney smacks people down, and they've got a slow mode on, so it keeps it to adult lore. I do.
Yeah,
I feel bad about that.
I've been nailed by that bot a couple of times, but because I would just put like LMAO and poof, everything I said is gone.
It's yeah the to be fair, this is the same bot that Funcom uses. So there was one live stream where people were getting muted, and I think this happened to Paolo because he asked a question that was more than two sentences long, and it
Yeah,
muted him for spam. It takes no prisoners. It's must be cousins of Gurney. I don't know.
I mean, in lore though, that makes sense that Gurney would be that hardcore about rules of just
He's kind of his thing. Um, this is from a biting dude in the official Discord. Apparently, he goes around on his deep desert and he just makes these bowling things.
Okay.
So obviously, you can't actually bowl, but he puts them up all over the place, and of course, then the deep desert storms will take them. I'm also permanently hydrated. The bot broke for me, and I will never be thirsty again until I am. I don't know. The official Discord uses as an anti-bot layer to post links. You have to be hydrated, so you have to be hydrated to go to another channel and click the hydration thing, and it only lasts a few weeks. So you'd have to continually do it. It keeps bot spam down, and every now and then it breaks, and you're just permanently hydrated. I've been permanently, I've been thirsty. I haven't done it in like 2 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm well and hydrated. But to post links, you got to be hydrated. It's good, but I thought the bowling was funny. This is by Prince Ether. This was on Reddit, and he named it "Contemplating." I like it.
Ooh.
That, by the way, is the gimp suit. You can see the face on the right shoulder.
I see a little bit of it, yeah.
You'll see it better when you see it in person. That is a great shot. Like I said, I think most of us have tried to get shots like that because it's just a great game. The only thing that he didn't do right was remove the HUD.
Oops.
Yeah. Oops. I've done it. I've done that many, many times. Art by
I've been there.
art by Diegon from the official Discord. In the gimp suit, no less. In the gimp suit. There's some amazing art that people have been putting out for the game. I've got to say, it's been really fun. Base by Dunk Dinkle. That is their Deep Desert base from the official Discord. That is
All those
generating.
shields worry me.
That is a lot of water. They're generating a lot of
Yeah.
water. Now the front shield should be fine. Should be fine. Solution Bowl, the Siege. Central, they posted on Reddit that they had a surge of people coming in and playing, and so they decided to take a group shot.
Why is there always a naked person in the pictures?
I have no idea who that is, but there's your gimp suit.
Oh. Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Yeah. It used to be all black, and they did that because I guess they got tired of us making comments.
I'm just saying, somebody at Funcom in the design team,
A
I got some questions
they're
for you.
they're European. I don't know.
After playing Conan and then now this, I'm just like,
I don't know. Some people do farm spice naked. We got into that habit back in the beta because it's
ah,
just safer. But they're in a lab,
yeah,
so
but
that's
the
weird.
chafing, I mean, you don't have anything to block the sand, so it's gonna,
It's gonna be
get
gritty.
up in places.
It's gonna be gritty. Funny
That is
enough,
true. Meg. Okay, I got to tell a story about Meg because she's like, okay, I have this private server. We're gonna play on it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I get on it. She didn't tell me she had the nudity filter turned off. So I'm sitting there just trying to play the game, and I'm up on the cross at the start and everything, and I am full on swinging in the wind, and I'm just like messing with the slider, and I'm like, oh, ooh, my man. And then like I'm sitting there as a gentleman, I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, oh, that would be sand in all kinds of places, and I'm not cut, so that ooh, no, I'm not making pearls. No. So yeah, that was kind of my introduction to Funcom, and I've never been the same since.
in beta when right before we did the soft wipe around June.
I'm sorry, I've had a lot of caffeine today, so I'm gonna be a little hyper.
Around June, we
I
did
need
a
to have
bike
more.
race in the deep desert. So we were racing from island to island on iron bikes, and we had a bunch of spares. So when you died, you could hop back in. And of course, most of us died pretty quickly. I found out it's when I discovered that the deep desert sandworms will totally come at you from the side and just they took like the whole middle of the group. But spawned back in my underwear as you do. Only there were rips in it, and I was like, Funcom, you're
Um,
you're making this for underwear, which I get because it's legendary and Herbert Estate wants some level of propriety around nudity. But why were my nips hanging out? They-
who went through all the work to put that in? I thought it was Barbie doll.
well, the guys are Ken dolls because there was a glitch where there was a couple of NPC guys that were always spawning in butt ass naked with no underwear on. Um, because there was one boss that we all had to go get, and he was always standing out in the sun naked
I
and
mean,
Kendall. But women
maybe
have
he's new age.
nipples. I don't know. I don't know. Thanks, Funcom, for the drama. Breathe. This is called
I'm
"Time to Get
trying.
the Pen Out" by Lynn Zero on Reddit. Another great screenshot.
That is pretty awesome, except for like they're clipping through a rock right there at the bottom.
A little bit, a little bit. It does happen occasionally.
That it is cool to see the storms coming on,
Oh yeah.
and you just see this giant cloud coming at you, and I'm like, well, we were playing last night, and we were standing at the base waiting for one to pass, and I'm like, that is really cool that they got the detail of like seeing the sand clouds and everything moving by, and it's just, well, I
Mm.
try not to be, rude, but I mean, if you're putting your stump on a rock, then that's on you.
I love
But
the Highliner up in there. It's a great shot though, and the deep desert storms
oh
are
yes,
big. They're a lot bigger. This one's from Unable to Print Again on Reddit, and they were showing off their multi-building compound for their base.
wow.
Do you remember, D, how there was a time in beta that your cape was always very happy to see you. Very, very happy. Very happy to see everybody. Every time you sat down, everybody knew how happy your cape was to see you. That is a lot of water. They're generating a ton of water. And if you squatted down, it would like pop out and like be aimed out in front of you like 3 feet.
I've been there.
Anyway, Variable Ian's high walls building.
I like their Thopter skin. That looks really cool.
That is Atreides with the DLC one over the top of it.
Oh,
So yeah, you can
where
put
are the
a
little?
skin and then the color swatches over the top.
Oh,
That is a lot of power.
I was going to ask, what are the little things right above the shield? I guess that's
Those things
power
that are like an
generators.
angle, those are wind generators, and I'm kind of surprised they work that way. But I'm looking at okay, he's got a ton of generators on there. Is that all of his production slots though? What?
Um,
Because you only get so many production slots. I'm like, if you need that much power, just get a spice generator and get some of your production slots back. It's a lot of it's a lot of production.
maybe he did it for the vibe.
It probably. This is
Big
from
zombie
Bex
robot.
Bex TW on from the official Discord. I love how creative people are. I absolutely love how creative people are. And there's wind generators behind it, so it's Optimus Spice. I love it. I love it. It's a great shot. They also need to learn how to take screenshots, so I think they took a picture of their monitor. This is
Oh,
from Wan on the official Discord. This is a brown pants moment, and I think many of us have been there.
yeah.
That's that's how close did you build to the sand? The answer was very, because he shared that one too. He's that's in the Gap. I know where that is. And yeah, he's like
That
he's right
that
there. I think he built close enough to deliberately
that is beyond
deliberately.
brown pants. You're sucking up the universe because
That's,
you're just clenching so hard.
that's some clinchy clinch to have that as a name. That the noise would drive me bonkers. The noise would drive me bonkers.
Yeah.
Wolfbite from the official Discord did their Battlestar Galactica
Ooh.
build.
Yeah, the Harkonnen pieces definitely have that kind of vibe of just, looking like Battlestar Galactica or, they belong out in space, not on a planet.
Yeah, yeah. This is from
Um,
hmm,
I don't think it's supposed to do that.
Shrednaz on the official Discord and Sky Halud. Yeah, Sky Halud thankfully is not common.
Could you imagine being up in a thopter though and just minding your own business, boltering along, and then worm?
The noise, the noise. They make this sound.
I I know the sound. I heard it on foot, and I'm not even in any danger, but I was still just whoa.
The artists and developers said that they worked really hard on the sounds because they wanted the, they're not monsters per se, they're just living things out in the world and they're always present. So you're gonna hear them, you're gonna see them, which makes sense, and you should fear them. Gold Eagle 2317 for the official Discord. All the night contemplation shots. Hey, Brad. This
Ooh,
is
somebody's
uh,
having a bad day.
That someone's high. That's Spice.
Oh,
Um, okay. Verminthraz has a different name. It's some artist name that they did some of the art that ended up in the last CommuniNet. That was so good. They're the one that does the digital art. They've got a video if you can find it. It's really good. They're a really good artist. Uh, Bahrain on the official Discord, vulturing through the deep desert. You see, we all know the mountains on the right hand side. Those of us who have been out there, we know exactly where that is. Alaskan Care on the official Discord.
ooh.
Sit on your balcony, take pot shots at the neighbors. That's
I mean,
been there, done that. I can't say anything bad about it. I've done it.
I mean, they take pot shots at me all the time, so why not?
Yeah, I was gonna say on the PTC, I've got a base similar right in that same area, and I just go on my balcony and shoot people and throw them um did this still. So I was like, oh, you volunteered today. Sabrina Savage. This is their they shared this on the official Discord. Awoo. That is a big base. I think they were trying just to see just how big can you go, and the answer is quite big.
That is really cool looking, though.
Yeah.
I guess that's all the Atreides build
Yep.
pieces.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Atreides.
I see the Greek Roman reference in their building pieces.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
This is from Volta Ariel Tan via the official Discord. She said that was a work in progress, but I'm like, I gotta grab it because that's super cute.
Yeah.
For me, yes. That's some fear whenever you're trying to get into your thopter from gathering spice and you're like, get in, and you're not getting in, and you're like, it's coming, and you're trying to get in. Yeah. Because if you die to the worm, you lose everything. Get in.
Yeah.
And Treadwell Trixie posted this on the official Discord, GTA Arrakis. This is from someone in their community named Space Junks. And it's a Kulon with a shotgun.
Okay, then.
The donkey with a shotgun. Because why not?
I mean, I've been around enough donkeys. They would absolutely use a shotgun just to.
They absolutely would. They're pretty aggressive critters. They absolutely are.
Unless you have food, then you're their best friend until they finish eating the food. Then it's
Yeah.
kick you in the face. Oh, sorry, the king. It's everybody.
If you say it again, it'll delete everything you've said in this chat so far. Just say. Just saying. It's.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I have to because I'm on here live, I have to really think about what I'm saying every time because yeah, I can swear a lot.
I can too, but funny thing is we can say it all day. It's just typing it because the bot's watching your text and not what we're.
It's the A in LMAO for those that didn't see the comment.
Yep. Oops. Sorry.
Which I mean, it's kind of weird considering you're talking about a donkey and that's what they're called, but you can't.
It timed you out for a second and 29 messages deleted. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You broke the thing again, Megan. Shame.
It's the bot. I don't have a lot of direct control over the bot. I don't. So the other thing we were going to talk about was we're going to talk a little bit about the new game experience, the new player experience, especially since the game's been out for a little bit, and it's been a long time since I've been a new player to the game. And we're going to look a little bit at the Landsrod because there's lots of kind of confusion about it. To be fair, the Lance Rod does feel a bit tacked on. It was supposed to be kind of, I guess, the current in-game thing, but it feels very tacked on. It doesn't feel like you're introduced to it in any way, and it doesn't feel super enmeshed. And one of the drawbacks of the current Lance Rod is you can hoard stuff for next time, so you don't have to go out and farm stuff. They're going to be changing that. That's one of the things they are going to change. They said they're going to make it more contract based. So that part will change. The early game experience, I mean, I'm rerunning it with Kaysen, not as a new character, obviously, because I'm not doing that again. But going back and I built a bike so I can run around with him.
So it's
And
okay for me to get tortured, but you
I've
gotta.
been there, done that many times. Someone in the official Discord today was like, "I hope they give us those cosmetics." I'm like, no. I agree that all the other cosmetics, but the stuff that we got as beta players, no, we earned those. Okay.
Yeah.
We earned those rewards. We suffered server crashes and bajillion bug reports and the feedback stuff. There was the surveys, and there was a whole nother site that we went to put in essays, essentially, of feedback. And yeah, no. There'll be plenty of cosmetics and in-game things. The observer stuff will all come back. Some of the banners and things that were drops and things should come back. They haven't said for sure, but the Twitch drops will come back, especially when consoles come, which makes sense because console players want to get the goodies too. So those things will come back around eventually. They have not given a time frame, but they have said they will come back.
Speaking of that, have they released a date on when consoles would come in? Because a guy I work with is kind of interested in the game after what I've told him, but he only has a console. He doesn't have a PC.
Fall of next year.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
Well, it takes they want to make sure, because when you port stuff over, there's always quirky stuff. And when you put stuff on console, there's a whole QA thing that you have to go through. It takes weeks of when you submit the thing. That's one of the reasons that Conan struggles with patches and they only do the test bed for PC, because then for PC they can't hotfix every day. You can't hotfix console every day.
Yeah.
So they're wanting to get to a certain point, plus getting it ported over and all that stuff. So it will be the only thing they've said is fall of next year. That's all we got.
Okay.
Fall of somewhere in there. They have not given a date, because there's lots of people waiting. We're excited. Probably will not have cross-platform to PC, but probably might have cross-platform to other consoles. I don't know. They haven't said.
I don't know. The closest I know to anything being like cross-platform right now is like Helldivers, because he's trying to get me to play that, and I'm like, maybe. I probably will. I just need to actually sit down and do stuff, but
Yeah. So the Funcom had dropped a Lance Rod video. So let's look at that, and then we can talk a little bit about the Lance Rod. So just a minute. Turn my volume down.
Power. Given the right lever, you can move a planet. In Dune Awakening, your path to power leads you through the great houses. But only accomplished guilds may earn their place among the Atreides or Harkonnen. Swear your allegiance and contribute to their rise in desert power. The pledge is only the beginning. You have come far, and now it's time to take control of the Landsrad. The Landsrad is the council of great houses that make decisions that impact all the players on all the servers in your world. Your goal, and that of your guild, is to secure their votes so that your faction, the Harkonnen or Atreides, can take control. To secure their votes and sway them to your side, you must complete specific house requirements on the Landsraad board. Alone or together with your guild, your efforts can move the needle. Be the first to fulfill a house requirement to not only secure their vote, but also reap their many rewards. Whether you enjoy PvE or PvP, there are many paths to victory. If you prefer the relative safety of the shield wall, there are many activities that will not put you into direct conflict with other players, while still contributing to your faction's rise to power. House Torvald wants you to eliminate sandflies. Rush in, or pick off the deserters one by one with your sniper rifle.
300 of them for the 7,000
House
points.
Rashis wants a delivery of ground cars. Join up with friends and build strongholds for large-scale production.
If
and
you have
deliver them
enough stuff
safely
to make
the House
5
representative by
large
ground
vehicle
or air.
replicators.
Large-scale production is costly and will require a lot of resources. To be able to craft certain high-tier items, you will also need the most sought-after resource of all: spice. You can buy spice from spice merchants or on the player-run exchange. And it can even be found in smaller pockets behind the shield wall.
Why are they doing it by hand?
But to collect industrial quantities, you must venture into the unknown. The deep desert beckons. Here, violent Coriolis storms sweep across the vast expanse of sand, resetting the map every week, revealing new resources to mine and points of interest
That is a good
to
question.
explore. This ever-changing
'Cause they
environment
sound
offers
sophisticated.
endless exploration, but also endless conflict. Each house in the Landsraad desires a specific control point in the deep desert. Seize it and hold it over time to gain their vote. Fortify it and be ready for a fight. Other players will soon come to take it from you.
In a world where players whine about
The deep
PvP.
desert is also home to frequent spice blows, offering large quantities of the precious melange.
He died
You
a few
need
years
a
ago.
lot of spice.
Nick Fontaine, I think was his
Once
name.
you've located a spice blow, move your harvesters in place to collect. Just be ready to defend it with your life.
We had a tank in that trailer initially. And that was a dude. No, why does that look like my character? I know. Proof that the marketing did everybody wrong. There's a lot of people with expectations.
After a week of politics, manufacturing, and conflict, one side emerges victoriously.
We got a Sissel rod.
The Harkonnen have seized the Landsraad, and the leaders of the player guilds who contributed to their victory all get to vote for a decree that will impact everyone on a server belonging to that world. They choose to unlock exclusive weapon imports rights. By decree of the Landsraad Council, under the seal of His Imperial Majesty,
Yeah.
a trade
It's a
consortium
6-minute
has been
long trailer.
authorized to visit Arrakis, providing Harkonnen players with exclusive access to a unique weapons vendor.
Expensive
Hako
access
Village.
to weapons.
As the Harkonnen Landsrad term begins, the race for control in the next term
Oh, that clip.
starts anew.
Yeah, don't work like that.
So, hold on, let's get back here. Buttons. Hee. Hold on. There we are. Where is it?
Oh.
There was.
Kind of wonder though, the banner that they were out there that the player has to go and like interact with.
Mm-hmm.
Are those player characters around it, or were they NPCs?
Those were NPCs, I think.
Oh, everybody fusses about how they got stuck on Arrakis. Who did you piss off so badly that you have to stand guard over a banner in the middle of Worm and Fremen territory? Like,
yeah. Oh no, those would have been players. Those would have been players.
Oh,
that were
okay.
standing
I
out
was
there
going to say
in the
because,
deep
like,
desert holding the control point, which so yeah. So any pick like ECAS might say we want Adept daggers, and we'll give you 1,000 points per dagger. So you go turn in 8 daggers, and you've got the third tier goodie from them. So it feels a bit fetch questy at this point. You can also win those points by going into the deep desert and no one fights over those spots. You go, you tag it, you hold the control point, you get the points.
Yeah, I mean, well, like you talking about it and stuff with me, as I'm trying to get to the Landsrod point, and we were talked about it, and it's like it kind of feels like another settlement needs your help kind of deal. Like, you're not really getting anything out of it. You're not really doing anything. You're just kind of
the rewards can be nice. They can be nice. Some for many the first tier is Solari, which is always handy. Then you might get something like a cutter ray or something like that. The third tier one I'm usually after is usually something from the deep desert, like irradiated cores or advanced mechanical parts or something, or blade parts or something that you only get in the deep desert. So I can choose to risk going to the deep desert and risk PvP to get those for a random amount, or I can go kill 300 scavengers and get them. So it's kind of this, how do you choose to make your time? But right now it's not very fulfilling. It feels tacked on. It feels like a bunch of fetch quests. It doesn't feel immersive at all. It can feel grindy. I've been doing it the last couple of weeks just because I want those deep desert things, because we have some great guildies who've been going to the deep desert and getting plast stuff and spice and things. And so at some point, eventually, we're going to want to upgrade stuff, and we'll need all of those cores and stuff. And so it's an easy way to get those, because my ping sometimes will shoot up to 250. My FPS sometimes will drop to 10, and I just don't feel like the risk. So I will go. So this week I've turned in swords, I've turned in radiation suits, I've turned in knives, and I'm working on slavers and scavengers. But it's a grind, because I think Paulo was saying he was going to go ahead and do the 14,000 points in scavengers at 23 a pop. That's like 600 scavengers. That's a lot. Scavengers.
Sir, I have questions. I mean,
yeah,
I get the
it's 400.
I only
Um,
had to kill 457. It's not that big.
for some reason, it's not
Ow.
showing on the chat here. I'm seeing it on Twitch. D had said in beta the term PVE warehouses got thrown around a lot, but that was the only way to win lands right now. Stock up on materials and craft turn-ins. There's no benefit to doing the PvEP objectives. Part of it too, some of the back and forth, and I think problem that is going to come with the rework for the Deep Desert, I'm thinking they're going to be connected because we had complained loudly that if you weren't PvPing, you would not have access to some of the stuff for the lands rod. So when they want Regis weapons, if you can't if you can't get the plast and the spice to make the stuff to make those weapons, you can't proceed or be as competitive in the lands rod as someone who has those things. And people were not selling those things because
Yeah.
why would you sell your advantage? So we were locked out of. This is before they did all the vehicle changes, so that way people in a smaller vehicle like the light thopters could get away from the assaults, which really peeved off all the PvPers. You do it away. Well, I don't want to PvP. And they had promised us that this would not be progression locked, that we would not have to. So I think, again, this is purely, speculation on my part. When they redo the Deep Desert, that they will redo. That would be a good time to redo how we do the Lance Rod. Maybe also do something introductory to it, some kind of quest or something, or a short contract to introduce you to the concept of the Lance Rod, because it's very much on the side. There's just like you someone in your guild knows how to do it, and you go do it. There's no in-game mechanic that I've seen that really tells you to go do it or how to do it or why you could do it or
I
maybe should
mean,
do it. And
and
they're
all the
looking at turning it
menus.
into more contract-based, not just hold control points or hoard stuff. As long as it's not contracts like go kill 300 sandflies, because that's getting old. Because it's sandflies, it's masquerade, it's house troops, it's
Yeah.
slavers, and I ain't killing no 300 house troops. Sorry. I don't care what the reward is. I ain't gonna do it. You can't make me do
Yeah.
it. I will not do it. Those are either in the deep desert on Aro or they're like in the PvP camps, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm absolutely not. Because I don't want to. Not that there's a lot of PvP on in those camps generally, but they're tough. They spank back, and they just did a tweak to melee combat that has made combat spicier anyway. I don't want to.
Yeah. That's what she said.
You can't make me.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, and one thing I would like with the PvP, if they could do it, is like in 76, when I first started playing, if you wanted to do PvP, somebody had to shoot you, and then you shot them. And then y'all could go around trying to kill each other. It's changed some since then. There's kind of like a Fortnite kind of ish thing, and just, yeah. And I would prefer that because I mean there was one time I went to this place, and this is another MMO, so it's a different experience. But
Yeah.
I was playing 76. I was running along. I hear gunshots. I go check it out. There's this guy just clearing a place. So I'm like, okay, I'll help him. Well, me and this one enemy are like chasing each other around the entire place, and I finally kill him. And like I am like level 4. And then the character, the other guy comes up, and he's like level 112, and I'm like, oh, I am so screwed. I am about to be dead. So I was like, I'm just going to run. And then I hear gunshots, and I'm like, what's going on? So I turn around, and he's actually gave me stuff and laid it on the ground, and he was shooting to let me know because we didn't have mics to talk to each other. And he was just saying, hey, there's free product. And it was like stim packs, chemical ammo, a different higher tier weapon. And I mean, I didn't know this guy from Adam,
Yeah.
And
I think what would happen is the PvPers, or how to put this, I don't to clarify, I
Make a
don't think
mess.
PvP in itself is a bad thing. I'm not anti-PvP. I don't do it myself for many reasons. I don't. There was a very long discussion in the official Discord again today about yes, griefing is a thing. There's people who insist that griefing is never possible in PvP, and I'm like, it absolutely is. Um, the sweats would find some way to manipulate that, and my personal thinking on like the server moves, people who are crying the loudest to move worlds are the PvPers because there was no PvP, so they really want that, which I respect. But they cannot seem to understand that it's not a PvP game, and not most of us are actually PvEers. And they insist that no, the numbers are people are leaving because PvE sucks. I'm like, how many hours did you PvE? 300, 400? How bad does it suck?
Yeah.
So, I think again it would just kind of clarify to some that, and then there's the small loud minority of PvPers. I don't think all PvPers are that way, but most of us don't want PvP. That's
No,
why
I mean if I wanted PvP, I'd go play Call of Duty on the
you know
multiplayer, and then I get called all kinds of racist names and everything else, and then listen to all of that. But like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I do enjoy in some games playing PvP. It's a fun mechanic. Everybody, duty. Anyway, it is a fun mechanic and stuff, and if it's done right. The problem I have personally is I've noticed a lot of um, survival games and role playing games and stuff like that that do have PvP elements. There's, and I'm not saying it's all PvPers. It's not all players. It's
yeah.
not everybody does something to be an asshole. Now the bot's going to come after me because I said the A word. Anyway, uh, you know, but I've noticed that they can bend the rules enough and learn the mechanics enough that they can actually break the rules that the developers wanted them to follow.
Yeah, there's always
And
been
you
somebody.
end up with griefers and people that just, yeah, basically, it's just, and I mean, if you want to go play Rust, but like at
Yeah,
the
but
same time, I
don't play
don't,
Rust on my Arrakis.
yeah, like I'm playing the game because, and it, I don't want to just fight people all the time. I mean, me and you riding around, like people were taking shots at me, and I'm like, "Yep, nope," and I'd start veering off to get away from them.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean,
A
if you
little
want to
a
play
little
GTA,
cooldown
play
on it.
GTA.
A little cooldown on it might
Yeah,
help with that. But I mean, that's a whole lot of mechanic stuff, and I get why they don't do it. But
I get
uh,
it, but at the same time, it would kind of be nice to have that because when I play, yeah, I want to play NPCs or against NPCs or
yeah,
just run around, farm, do stuff, whatever. I am just that's what I want to do because honestly, I'm getting older. My reaction time is nowhere near it was when I played Modern Warfare back in the day. I just don't care to get ran over every 5 minutes, because some
yeah.
guy has basically no life to the game, and now he has top tier gear while I'm still in copper, and he's just plowing me over.
And this is something I
Yeah,
mentioned earlier today in the official Discord because people were talking about everybody's going to move, and if your world becomes PvP and you don't like PvP, you're going to have to move. And I'm like, first off, no, um, I'm staying put. But I reminded everybody how bad it was because this is griefing. Do you remember when the game first started and everybody was building over the jazz nodes and there's nothing you can do about it because it's a PvE zone? That's absolutely griefing. And it's they did it because they were pissy because we wouldn't go out in the deep desert. So they're gonna progress lock us in some way.
Yeah,
And
well, like
yeah,
the King said, it's not the game. It's just we don't want the PvP. Don't make me because then I'm going to quit the game, and guess
yeah,
what? You'll never get to kill my character anyways.
yeah.
So you're stuck in a cycle of destruction because griefers got to grief, and no offense, Funcom, but deal with this shit.
It would be nice. But yeah, and that's the thing is they get really pissed off, and we've been saying it for more than a year that it's a survival game that has PvP elements in it. It's not meant to be a core loop. Does it need some love and attention to make that process better? Of course. There was the crying over the
We're making
there's
so many
one
people mad
skill
today.
in the sword master tree that apparently all the PvPers were using. So they were all relying on that one thing, and like then it needs balanced
Mhm.
because everybody's relying on one skill from one tree, and so they tweak that, and the PvPers have lost their minds. You broke melee. No, they balanced melee. Well, you don't
Yeah.
melee. They had one guy who was like, "You've obviously never played the game." I'm like, "I have." You know, and just well, you don't. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, again, if you are building your entire play style around one skill, and they've balanced that skill, and now all of you suck. I'm like, I've never used that
Yeah.
skill. I don't know.
And yeah, like the King said, I would love a I mean, I know it's a survival game. We're supposed to play in a guild. We're supposed to play with people, but
Yeah.
like me and your schedule and my schedule, we live on different sides of the world. Time zones are a thing. Like I would like to be able to run some of the stuff single player,
Mhm.
but it kind of feels like sometimes that the enemies are set up for more than just me, and they don't play nicely at all.
It is a challenge for me, and I'm a mid player, um, to go into equal tiered spaces to my gear that have large groups.
Yeah.
So, like, I need industrial pumps, and the only place you can get those industrial pumps is Sentinel City. And so, first off, everybody stutters and lags in Sentinel City. There's a spot in there that's just like Stutter City, but even without that, there's large mobs. They have flamethrowers. They have stabbies. It's it can get very heated very quickly for a solo player.
Yeah.
When I go there, it's underneath the Sentinel. It's underneath Godzilla, and there's three main entrances because it's underneath um, the mountain, and so there's one entrance that's pretty easy. It's got like three or four guys. I can totally do that. You go inside, and there's two more guys. Great, I can come out of just that with 13 pumps. I'm good for me. Going further in, it starts getting hairier, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. Um, Someone else on Reddit was complaining because they were like, if I've got T5, T6 stuff, I should be able to stand in any part of Haga Basin and not die. And I'm like, no. Slow blade will penetrate your shield. And if you stand there like a numpty, then you deserve getting stabbed. Everybody should have it. No one should be impervious to all damage. And everybody should have a risk of a bad day, some bad luck. And if you're sloppy, you should get spanked.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
I spit dart my way through as much of that as I can. I've got the spit dart. I'll use the turret. I got grenades. I will do as much at as far away as I can as I can because otherwise, between the stuttering and lag or whatever that is going on down there, and if you get two melee guys on you and a flamethrower, it's gonna make your day very spicy and not in a good way. because they will knock you back and just knock the crap out of you and pin you in a corner and just stab you to death. Which I get. So at equal tier stuff, it can be challenging for a typical player. The PvPers like to think that, well, everybody can do it. Great if you can. I think that you're lying that you do it all the time, every time, but that's another story. But not everybody is that kind of player. Most of us aren't really.
You remember that the other day when I was playing bait and we're like, yeah, you're standing up there trying to snipe the, I think it was deserters or scavengers,
Rob,
and you're sniping them and sniping them. I'm like, you're like, come on, y'all, come on. And then I go out there and I'm like, yeah, let me go down there and be bait because somehow the squishy character has to be bait. Go figure.
you
You
volunteered.
totally love me all the time, right? We're best friends. You just use me as bait, and I go down in there and it was like, oh crap, there's a heavy. Crap. And I'm trying to run and like, I mean, he's shooting at me and I can just watch my health and my shield just whittle away. And I'm like, oh God, oh God. Yeah, I was voluntold. Don't let her don't believe her that she's nice.
I am nice. I am nice. Yeah,
uh-huh.
even if they're not getting through your shields, the gunfire will slow you down and make you a nice juicy target for things that can get through your shields. So
Yeah. And I get it. They're heavies. They need to be scary. But at the same time, I was right there in a cave at Anvil. I am at the tier I'm supposed to be.
yeah, and it's
And
challenging.
this guy was just running through me like I was just dirt. And I'm like, what the, and
Yeah.
I mean, I played Gears of War. I remember grinders and boomers and, all that stuff. And like, I mean, boomers still, hearing that boom, like, it scares me, but like that heavy was just,
I went with him to testing station 10 because it's steel tier, and we all made that mistake because you get the contract, like, okay, I just came out of Haga Basin, this is how you do it, we get to go do the thing, it's right there, we'll go do it. And then we all got our asses kicked. And so when it was time, I went and ran that with him, and I was like, okay, I'm going to carry you through this one because otherwise you're just going to get spanked. It's not fun to get spanked. I mean, you want to challenge, but you don't want to get your ass kicked every time you go play.
giggity. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it gets frustrating, and me and you have played, and I'm like, Jesus,
Yeah.
because like I would just get swarmed by enemies, or the heavies, or start kicking my butt, and I understand it's a survival game. They're supposed to be complicated enemies. Every interaction is supposed to be, is this the benefit of this worth the risk of it? If I go run this testing lab or this cave or this dungeon or whatever, will I be able to make enough loot from it to justify it?
Why is my bot not working?
I don't know. Hang on, let me try on my end.
It's very odd.
Yeah, it
Oh,
worked.
it just took a minute. Okay. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
But yeah, testing station 10 is a kind of come to moment. I thought anybody should be able to do it. But testing station 10, we didn't realize it was steel tier specifically until close to launch, but everybody got challenged by that. And then when you go to the other lab there in the south part of the Western Vermilius Gap, is another one that used to be a lot tougher. It's got the flamethrower in it too. They're very challenging. I think part of it is they want to encourage people to run in groups. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of you've got the contract, you have to do the contract now, and you do not have to do the contract now. There is no set order to do any of it. You
Yeah.
could, like you were making the Dew Reaper. I don't think I've ever made one. Somebody the other day was talking about getting stuck on making the spice mask, and I'm like, I don't think I ever made one of those either. I do stuff when I get around to it.
Yeah. I mean that when you ask me like when I'll sit down to try and game and you're like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what direction to take because if I try, and I try to be very careful too because I'm still very squishy. So,
Oh, yeah.
I might go, be like, hey, I'm gonna go do this contract, and there's 3 heavies just standing at the front door going, you know.
They do so like Anton sends you up to slavers, which is really mean because you're not ready for slavers either. So it you can run around and farm where you're at. You can run the trials, which are fairly easy. 1 through 4 are going to be easy for you to get to. The other ones are a little bit tougher. You can do contracts around what you can, but again, there's no speed that you have to run them at. There's no specific order. Run contracts or run this or run your house contracts. There's no time pressure to do those things. So, and even if you just sat and farmed stuff for until you hit level 50 and you're ready to go to aluminium and haven't done the contract yet, they'll still be challenging for you to go run when you do. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
See,
It's
I remember being out when you go, especially on a fresh blow, I mean, it was still all purple and you couldn't see the ground. The spice strips were a thing. I always keep getting the side effect of the slow-mo messed up sound after, which is really bad because you don't want to be in a combat situation when suddenly the sound goes, and you're like, you don't know what's coming. It's not good. It's not good.
I get it. I mean, I remember I've seen some spice blows like out, but I'm still not high enough tier to actually get them yet. So
No,
that's the whole
because
thing.
you don't have a compactor yet. And that video kills
I gotta
me because they
build
were
one.
out there scooping up spice by hand. I'm like, you can, but why the fuck would you? Who did you piss off that they're gonna make you go out there and do that by hand on a bike?
I mean, when you get on Sergeant Major's bad side because you touched the grass, things get interesting.
Yeah. They've also since then tweaked how much spice you can get from a Haga Basin spice blow. I think with the best gear and all that, you're getting, I think, max about 550, 540,
Yeah.
which isn't a lot
Yeah.
of spice. So I think, yeah, I was gonna say people get eager and they just grab stuff, which I get, channeling your inner loot goblin, but it's not the most efficient way to do things. And then, you're up to your eyeballs and stuff that you can't do anything with. Especially early on, you don't have the water to process much of anything. When you were, especially early, there was such a water need to make iron and steel, that steel tax is a real thing. And it used to be so tedious to get that first buggy. When you get a buggy, it changes the whole game. Because your ability to harvest ores and fuel cells changes. It changes your whole ability to get around farming things.
Yeah.
So a buggy is it's one of your more valuable tools, honestly. For us, like Paulo and Dee have been running around trying to get the high tier cutters because the better cutters get you the better results, and it just saves you. It's efficient. It saves you time. It saves you lots and lots of time.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, but I mean, a lot of people when they hear Dune, they also think of spice, and then they see the spice, and I
Yeah.
must go after it.
Oh
The
yeah.
spice must flow, and
Oh yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. But like in actual gameplay, yeah,
You need to be a little more cautious before running around in the sand. In beta, early
yeah,
beta,
you have to run barefoot across it, going shit, 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 shit.
you had to have melange to make a thopter. So
Ooh,
your thopters were real expensive. So you were out, you parking your bike by a rock, stripping down, putting your stuff in the bike storage, and then running out onto the sand to naked harvest and run back and forth and hope that the worm didn't get between you and your bike when it does pop up because
yeah,
everything was so expensive. And early on, the waves were short and you had to restart every time. So you don't want to lose your stuff because you don't have, like the early waves were like 6 or 7 days at a time. So you're just like, run. And every loss you felt very, very painfully. They didn't change that until October or so. It was the fall that they changed it.
yeah,
Then they cut because they said, well, you don't need spice anymore to make your vehicle. So we're only going to give you 2 spice blows at a time in Haga Basin. And we were like, what? So it was a process. And so like this the game we're playing now is not the game that we tested initially. It has changed a lot since in the last 18 months.
yeah. I've noticed, but I was going to ask. There was this. I think it was quicksand that I got stuck in. Like I was riding along, and there was like this white sand, and then I got stuck in it. And I noticed it started moving in, and like, yeah, fuck that.
It's
I hate
tidal
that.
sand, yes. Tidal
I
dust.
hate it.
We hate it too. And you'll learn to recognize it. It looks a little bit like it's bubbling a little bit.
Yeah,
And thankfully it doesn't move. It's always in those same spots. So once you have a chance to do a survey probe in those areas, you'll see them on the map. So your drum sand will show up as solid red dots, and tidal sand will be hash marks. And the PvPers cry about it because we should obviously have to fight them to get to the spice. So I'm like, suck it. I don't know. I don't say that. I think it, but again, progression lock.
I'm rubbing up on you. Now you're going to be an opinionated man.
I'm trying not to alienate people. I really don't. I mean, I don't PvP. I don't have anything personal against PvP play, but
Yeah,
there's a time and place for that, and this game isn't it. I mean, I have video evidence of me PvPing with Iggy, and he wiped the fucking floor with me. And I did it for about 45 minutes until my vertigo was like, no.
yeah,
I think that again, not every PvP player is sweaty and yucky. We had Croniel in beta. Scary French man. It's very scary French man. But not sweaty. And would run escort for us, and we knew he had our backs, and he knew he definitely could put his money where his mouth was. But there were so many out there, and some groups are still on that are just really aggressive for its own sake. And one of the reasons that we now have the pilot and available in the deep desert is because if you lose your vehicle, if you respawn back in Haga Basin, you lose everything. So what they would do is these PvPers would gang up on you, and like 2 or 3 of them would just stand on you and kill you over and over and over while you would respawn, and then destroy your vehicle. They're not getting anything out of it because it was not full drop. They're just killing you because they can over and over and over, destroying your gear, and then to destroy your ride home, which would also destroy your gear because you can't respawn. So they did it for jollies. There's no reason for how 4 of them to gang up on you and kill you over and over and over, except because they wanted to. And so I think they put you can get stuff from, you build a hidey hut on the Arrow when you first enter the deep desert, put a spawn beacon there. If you die, you can get money and fly back with the pilot. So it's not as punitive as it used to be. I remember having some discussions with some of the community managers over that one too. I still have the screenshots, and I really wish there had been. They assumed that
Now,
I got DMs saying, "Why did you get me banned?" I'm like, first off, I don't know who you think I am, but I don't get anybody banned. I'm just playing here. But second of all, if you got banned, it's because you did some bullshit. That's
yeah.
I will say that if you get banned from a game, you probably did the bullshit. That's, to be fair, I did report that stuff. I have the screenshots from where I reported the stuff too. It was vile. It was absolutely vile. And they threw misogynistic stuff my way recently. I have screenshots from that too. They've thrown ableist stuff out. They've thrown sexist stuff out. They've thrown homophobic stuff out. And those guys, and they know when to tread softly, and then when no one's looking, they let their bullshit out. So
Or the worm accidentally turns and eats you in a really weird way.
that one's a very, yeah.
Like after my having interactions with the worm now, I'm like, that was driven.
Sure felt that way. Well, it says no, it was just a targeting glitch, but I don't know. But yeah, I know exactly what instance you're talking about. That was about a year ago, actually, and yeah, that it was beta Discord was a ride, to say the least. It was a lot. Uh, PvP in the Discord sometimes.
Well,
They
that's why I
put a
live
slow
in.
mode in the Discord for that one before they put it on the big one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It was spicy in there. It was very, very spicy.
Well, now you know why I live in my forest glade away from people, and I call myself a hermit.
It has its place. It has its place. But things are settling, and I think as people get bored, they're going to leave. And we knew that there'd be an element of they'll get bored and leave because. But I'm like I don't. I mean, I was bullied in school. I don't want to be bullied in the thing that I do to relax. That's not relaxing, and so I'm not going to be your kick toy. I'm a grown ass adult now, and you don't have to make me your kick toy.
To be fair, I've had people try to call me stuff, names and stuff online, and I'm just like, if you're going to insult me, at least give me something where I'm like, that was actually really good. Because there's a couple of guys I work with, and one day they were messing with me, just picking. We all pick at each other. It's friendly banter.
Yeah.
And I kind of was in a bad mood, and I should have said something, but I laid into them for like 10 minutes and just called them everything and anything and pointed out everything. And they were like, damn,
That's how you really
So I'm
feel.
like, I work in a blue collar job, dude. You could call me anything in the world and I wouldn't care, but I'm being nice.
Yeah. Well, and I do say that, muting and blocking people brings peace, and I stand behind that. I know people have muted and blocked me, and that's fine. It honestly doesn't bother me. Someone today thought it was funny that I noticed I had been muted. I'm like, oh, that's funny, and like you're just mad. I'm like, not actually. I
No,
was more. I'm like, you blocked me from responding to you, but you still keep reading and responding to my messages, but you call me soft. So I can't say anything to you, but you're obviously still reading my messages. So I guess I live rent free.
yeah.
I guess I don't know.
I don't understand people.
I don't know.
Yeah, 4chan is a whole thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we should wrap up.
To be honest, though, to be fair to everybody here, I like all of you. I have not met anybody in the Discord that I don't like. Like, I mean, me and Dee, we kind of go on about Zentera, but like, it's fun. It's being nice. I don't mean it to be mean or anything.
Yeah.
you know, and D, from what I can. Yes,
we
even you.
we tried very, very hard before the game launched in the official Discord to really build community because it was supposed to be a social game. And we wanted to have people to play with. We tried to make, find and people would come in and go, where, they're always looking for guild ads. It's like there's no guild ads yet, but hang out here and just chat with people. Find your peeps and do it
Yeah,
in a more organic way. It's probably going to last longer than just jumping into some other group, and just find your peeps. And I think we got very, very lucky for people who kind of ended up in our community that, we play well together. Even people who aren't playing with us right now that are in our Discord still, I mean, hang out and we talk about the
yeah.
game. Yeah, so we went from right about this time last year, right before launch, it was like 70,000 people, and then it jumped at launch to 250,000 people, and they were obnoxious. It was not. I had to leave the Discord for a bit because they opened up 4 chat channels and they were just like scroll, and it was
Ooh,
scroll. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go play and have fun. And if
yeah.
y'all don't want to go play and have fun, I guess that's okay. But I'm not gonna stick around here for, I'm playing. Do or don't. I don't care. Nothing I say is gonna change your mind. The game's broke. Da, 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 da. I am in the I've muted all of like the detailed ones like Landsrod and player helping, whatever. I don't go in there very often. I'll go into like off topic. I'll go into art. I'll go into the community net ones, and I'm in the second, or I guess now it's the Gen Chat 1. Gen Chat 0 is a zoo. Don't go in there without your flame retardant suit on and your stupid off spray because it's its own thing. Excuse me. It's spicy and not in a happy fun way. Not in a happy fun way at all.
Yeah, no. I in general, I just avoid people online. So, sorry
And
if
yet,
y'all get spam or just, random images in the discords and stuff. It's just, yeah. I like everybody, but at the same time, I've met too many people and I'm just, no.
we're pretty lucky that we've got, even though I don't know my current population, it's less than 100. I mean, we're pretty small, and we got a lot of lurkers, which is fine because as long as they're not, bots sneaking stuff. But um,
Warriors.
I I'm in a few discords that I have muted because they have like they're like the panda one that's got like all like 400 emotes or some shit. I'm in that one just for the
Ooh.
emojis. I mean, that's I don't care what they're streaming. It's not my thing, which is fine. But um, people, we get along. We're pretty lucky that we've got a good group. So, and I
Yeah.
think the official Discord is paring down kind of like it did before to the regulars. And most of the regulars are trying to be helpful to people coming and asking questions. Someone came in with the Lost Harvest DLC, and they were trying to go do. They were insisting it was bugged because they couldn't find something. I'm like, well, there was a whole lot of back and forth about which lab they were in. I think they were in the wrong lab because they were insisting they couldn't find the door that opens to the secret lab. I was like, well, you're in the wrong lab. It's there. The door is in the right lab.
Yeah.
So there was a whole lot of back and forth trying to figure out which lab they were in, and if they had missed a step and that sort of thing. But most people are trying to be helpful most of the time.
I get it. I mean, and I've gotten a little snappy before with you and stuff, and I've apologized for it because, like, we're playing the game. I'm getting swarmed. I'm getting pissed off, and you're like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm getting, stabbed from every direction right now. Let me, you know."
Yeah, I get
And
it.
I mean, you're trying to help, but at the same time, it was like, I'm in a situation I can't get out of,
Yeah,
and it's a whole thing, and people have good days, they have bad days. It happens. It's people. But
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay. We figure it out.
yeah,
We're coming up on the 2 hour mark. Just about.
yeah,
I guess
probably
we
about time to call it a day.
I guess we should wrap up. Um, I don't know if we're gonna try again next week. I mean, it's not a holiday here next week, but it is a holiday in the States, and there tends to be a lot of family oriented stuff. So we may
Yeah,
hold off.
and
Skip next week, but you have to work the week after, so
yep,
I
my
may have to hit
rotation
up my
goes back to.
volunteers to see who would like to
I'm
guest
free.
and take the next rotation when you have a Saturday off,
Well, yeah.
and then
Well,
you'll be
maybe I can get a
volunteering.
little further down the road next time, and
I would love that, D. If you are available, we can. It won't be like I said, it won't be next week. I'm also looking at doing cooking, not next week, but the week after. Doing some stuff from the Dune cookbook. So
yeah.
it would be a Dooney week, ideally. I'm still plotting and planning. Hey,
There's going to be a whole essay. We know it. It's
there's
just
nothing
going to
wrong with
be
that.
D talking the entire time about Zentera and how wrong I am about how I talk about him.
Do a cooking
Oh,
stream.
that could be fun.
I need to see.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll need to
I
see if
don't
I can
know
get.
if. Oh, I was going to say, well, also with the schedules and stuff, with it being a holiday next week and my job, it's probably best that I'm not on here because, I mean, you saw how I was after this last week and just.
You have a stressful job on just in general, though.
Yeah.
There is that. So the Dune stuff, the recipes. There's a bread which I think we talked about before. Paolo remembers how to pronounce it. I don't remember how to pronounce it. It's the fokia, I think. And then there's a Turkish recipe for this. While the bread's making that I want to make, it sounds horrible, but it could be really good. It's a garlic. It's a garlic yogurt with poached eggs. And it could be good. I don't know, but
Garlic yogurt.
I know.
I never thought of that before.
I didn't. Yes, that bread. Thank you. See, Paolo's always on. It's a legitimate. It's a real recipe. It could be good, or not. I don't know.
I mean,
It's a
I do
garlic
like.
yogurt
Oh,
that you can mix together, and then you put poached egg on top, and then you put on like paprika and spicy stuff on top of that.
yeah.
And
I do
then
like
serve it
these
with
idea of
fresh bread.
you cooking next Saturday though. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
see.
granted, it doesn't make sense to people outside the U.S., but
I will see what I can do. Again, I think the bread will be fine. The rest will
yes,
be. We need some mayhem in the kitchen mayhem.
yes.
So we shall see.
And you need to keep me off screen in handcuffs, so I can be ready for the next stream when you want me to go back on. I think that would be a little country kink. Don't threaten me with a good time.
I don't remember where I got this ruler. I think it must have ended up my stuff from some school, but it is so worn. There's no numbers on it. It's just a piece of wood. I don't.
Ooh. Yeah, I remember taking those as a kid, and like you'd put them on the edge of the desk and like flick them with your finger, and they go. Brrr. Used
Yeah,
to make my teacher so angry.
we got the. These are supposed to be break resistant, shatter resistant.
Okay,
Well, I will see what I can put together this week for a Saturday cooking stream, and we'll see. Because why not?
Yeah, sorry I went off topic so many times today.
Do we have a topic?
I don't know.
Do we legitimately have a topic? Seriously, Dune. We're here to talk about gaming and nerdy stuff. So,
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be about Dune, but I go off into tangents and
nerddom. We're here for nerddom. I don't judge. We shall see. We
Yep.
shall.
Thank you for everybody coming.
Oh yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for I got a couple of follows this week. It's been very nice, so I appreciate that. And I guess we will hopefully see you guys very soon. Until then, stay safe out on the dunes, and try not to provoke the soda cart too hard.
I
Everybody
learned to avoid the
loves the
spotlight
nighttime
fast.
airdrops.
Yeah, avoid that spotlight very fast. I learned that lesson.
Yep, they used to fly more over the Rocky Islands instead of just around. So you have it lucky now. You have it lucky now. Anyway,
Yep.
deliver water. That they do. That they do. I wish they delivered a little bit more loot for the effort, especially early on. But
One thing I do wish though is that in the movie they had went with the game's starter card gear, because the starter card gear in the game, I'm like, ooh, it looks awesome. And
yeah.
the death mask, the ponytail out the back, like it looks like you would think a feudal society that is spacefaring would look like.
Yeah.
Whereas in like it kind of seemed like with the movies they were more, what's the most basic we can cover our troops in and call it good. I mean, it still looks good, but like, and it still has a distinctive look, but it doesn't have that I am rich, I am opulent, I am going to throw money at these people that are going to die because I have so much of it.
Yeah.
And the houses seeing human life in general as a resource that they can spend without thought. So yeah, sorry, went on a tangent again.
It's okay.
Okay,
We're wrapping up now for realsies.
Yep.
We'll catch
Okay.
everybody later. Let me see if it'll work for me.
Oh,
Come on. Why? Can someone else try it?
there you go.
There it goes. What?
I don't know. You broke the bot again. You pressed the wrong button.
I broke the bot. Story of my life. Anyway, we're leaving.
Yes.
Button. I will see everybody in the Discord. Have a good night if we don't, and we'll catch everybody next time. Bye.
Be careful on